The Chicago Bulls are in the midst of a training camp, but they still taking care of some finances. The Chicago Bulls have picked up Matas Buzelis' team option for next year. What does it mean for Matas Buzelis? Is this a smart move by the Chicago Bulls? Will Matas Buzelis be the next max contract player for the Chicago Bulls a couple years down the road? Y'all know we're going to talk about it, break it all down, but you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shy Boys podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another daily episode. So if you're tuned in, love talking Chicago Bulls basketball, man, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Damn, I'm about to knock the whole woo-wop down. Let me calm down. But hey, the Chicago Bulls, man, they've been real iffy when it comes to making smart money moves and money decisions. But hey, it seems like they made a smart move right here. But hey, the Chicago Bulls, they went out there and they picked up Matas Buzelis team option for the 2026-27 NBA season. So we got a while before we get there. But instead of waiting until the end of October, just a couple days into October, the Chicago Bulls said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this over with. Now, Matas Buzelis is now locked in with the Chicago Bulls for at least the next 2 seasons. And yeah, we looking at my man's Matas Buzelis potentially being here for the foreseeable future. You know what I'm saying? Past this rookie scale contract deal. Now, the next decision for the Chicago Bulls is going to be coming at the end of it's going to be for the 2027-28 team option that they'll have in place for Matas Buzelis and will be able to exercise. And I think that's when he'll become extension eligible, and the Chicago Bulls will be able to reward him if he goes out there and perform at a high level. And you could probably get ahead of the market value if you take care of him early. Obviously, it's still some basketball that has to be played in year 2 for Matas Buzelis, but nonetheless, the good thing is that we know he gonna be here for a couple more seasons, and I'm hoping that this is something that we'll see for Matas Buzelis being here for the next decade, hopefully, probably even longer. And who knows what's the ceiling for this guy? I think that he has a lot of talent. He has a lot of things that he can bring to the Chicago Bulls. He is a Chicago kid, so y'all know how we ride for our own Chicago people. Let's just say Matas Buzelis make a couple all-stars throughout his career. You're going to be goated like D Rose. You're going to be goated. But that is a little premature right now because he still got to go out there and actually play the games. Now, is this a smart move for the Chicago Bulls? Absolutely. You take care of him. You go out there and you say, hey, we seen what you was able to do at the second half of the season. It's not going to cost us $30 million, at least right now. But we can go ahead and say, yeah, we can lock you in and make sure that you're good to go for a couple more seasons here in Chicago. And it's good that the Chicago Bulls are not playing with this or not wasting time with this and taking care of Matas Buzelis, because we've seen the Chicago Bulls get into, a tough negotiation with Josh Giddey. But hey, we move on. Now, the expectations for my man's Matas Buzelis, it does not change anything or any pretty much expectations as we wanted to see from Matas Buzelis this entire time. This entire time, we wanted to see Matas Buzelis be that projected number 1 overall pick that he was slated to go in his draft class, but fell all the way to the Chicago Bulls and came home to the good old Chicago Bulls, who sometimes struggle with making smart decisions. But nonetheless, when you talk about Matas Buzelis, the expectations for me is to just go out there and show me what you made of, young fella. You said the championship is the benchmark. You want to go out there and have an opportunity to win most improved player. You want to be this all-star. You want to be great. you want to be coached very, very hard, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But you have to show me. That's all it comes down to when you come talking about Chicago Bulls players and making decisions for the foreseeable future for this Chicago Bulls team. I like what Matas Buzelis can do for the Chicago Bulls. I believe he can be the franchise player for the Chicago Bulls. And quite honestly, I'm really feeling like the Chicago Bulls are hoping that he can be that franchise player for them. You seen him at the draft. You seen him go out there and support Noah Essengate when he was drafted or after he was drafted. You see Matas Buzelis be very, very vocal around Chicago media. So I'm kind of feeling like they are hoping and leaning into him, hopefully being a franchise player for the Chicago Bulls. And I'm hoping for the same thing. I'm hoping for the same thing because I think that he has so many tools, and if you can tap into some of those tools, you should just see an ascension to whatever that landing spot is. I don't want to put a ceiling on him right now. I think it's too early in his career to say that he's going to be stopped at an all-star. He's going to be a superstar. I think it's too early for that, me personally. There are some people that have expectations of him being a star, but I want him to carve out his role and map out his journey himself. I think that's, for me, I think that's as fair as I can be to allow Matas Buzelis to come out and just pretty much do his own thing, check his own boxes. But I will say this: when you come out and tell me you want to be great, when you come out and tell me that you want to be great, the only thing I can do is hold you to that standard. If you have some shortcomings with that, I got to call it out. If you exceed all my expectations, I back off and say, hey, we good, we rocking, we rolling, we trying to get things done around here. So I'm going to let Matas Buzelis do his thing for this season right here. And then, hell, we going to go ahead and say, what's to it, bro? What's to it? You know what I'm saying? We just trying to see what's to it. Now, my next question is, should we be looking? Is it too premature to be saying if Matas Buzelis will be the next max contract player for the Chicago Bulls? It'll be the first since Zach LaVine. Josh Giddey ain't signed no max. I don't necessarily think Kobe White is going to sign a max. I don't think that's happening. So will Matas Buzelis a few years down the road be the next? Hey, it's a strong chance. Again, it goes back to saying, I don't want to put a ceiling on this guy. I don't want to put a ceiling on this guy. I just think that I keep saying it, bro. When we talk about the good players and what separates them from the great players, it's going to always be the mindset for me, bro. It's going to always be the mindset for me. And the mindset of Matas Buzelis is really, really, is different from something that we've heard in a long time. His confidence within himself is something that you appreciate. You know what I'm saying? And though I will say we appreciate that mindset, Matas Buzelis, I gotta see you ball out this season, bro. I gotta see you ball out this season, bro. Because we ran into some good draft picks who probably flashed a little bit early on and then didn't necessarily fizzle out or play out into, you know what I'm saying, what we expected them to be until they either left the team or, you know what I'm saying, was out of the league. Like it's some of those situations where you be like, man, I thought this player actually was gonna be decent, but then a couple years down the road, we was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? What about Denzel Valentine, y'all? I thought he was all right when he first came to the Chicago Bulls. And then it was like, nah. What about Chandler Hutchison? We thought he was supposed to be the next Scottie Pippen. That's what Stacey King was telling us. You know what I'm saying? What about P. Will? He was supposed to be a baby Kawhi. It's been disappointing. That's why I'm not going to sit here and say that, hey, Matas Buzelis, you know what I'm saying, is about to be the next superstar. I think he has the potential to be that, but I just can't stand on it. I don't want to put a cap on a ceiling right now. I want my mans to go out there. Yeah, obviously he might feel some type of pressure, but like listen to a lot of NBA players. They're like, I don't have no pressure. I make all this money. I play an NBA game. Pressure is when you got to pay the bill. You know, the cliche stuff that a lot of people say, which does hold merit, but I hope y'all get the point. So yeah, I think it's there for the take it. If Matas Buzelis want to go out there and take it, you know what I'm saying? Everything is right there for him. You have a point guard that you can grow with in Josh Giddey. You have a off ball guard and Kobe White. Hopefully, if they get him locked up, you can grow with him. You have Noah Essengay, another young player. Hopefully, you can be some then grow with him. Same as say with Ayo Dosunmu. Hopefully, you can pair up and grow with him. Obviously, it's a number of moves that have to be made, for guys to stick around. But if you can lock down a young core of Josh Giddey, Matas Buzelis, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Noah Essengay, I'll be real confident in that little core right there. And then obviously you still add on to it, and then you go from there. But hey, shout out to the Chicago Bulls for picking up this option for Matas Buzelis. Shout out for Matas Buzelis for putting on a hell of a rookie season that we feel like it left some to be desired, not on Matas Buzelis' part, but the Chicago Bulls' part, because their developmental plan calls for him to have some DMPs, not be involved early on in the season. But ultimately, the season let us see what could possibly be available to us in the near future, maybe starting this season. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. Just want to talk about Matas Buzelis and the Chicago Bulls picking up his team option. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always see red, and y'all already know we gonna catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace out, y'all.
Cognac. Gang.